You probably know exactly who they could have been. And the person they showed you at the beginning felt like everything you were hoping for. But then things changed and they became someone who hurt you, or someone who doesn't align at all with the person you first met. Reconciling those two versions of someone can feel like a mind game. You're not only grieving the loss of the relationship, but also who you thought they were. And so with that, the potential of who you thought they could be. And sure, we should maybe focus on the fact that we should never focus in a relationship on who they could be, but only who they are. But to be honest, that's a different video, and it's kind of a loaded topic to untangle in its own right. The fact is, for the struggle you're in with this person mentally and emotionally right now, they're not who they said they were, or they just changed drastically. And either way, that means they definitely couldn't be whoever they painted a picture of when you first talked about goals and dreams and the future that they had for themselves, and then you began to, talk about a future that you saw together with each other. And it may not even be anything bad. Sometimes we just grow apart. We find new hobbies or new friends, and in a good, solid, healthy love, we give a person that space to grow and change and try. And we still get to keep our friend, our lover, our confidant, our partner, the same as they give us space to evolve. But sometimes those changes reveal the hidden truth of who they are, or a change has occurred to them that is a fundamental difference to who you met. Could be a change of values or ethics, a lifestyle you just don't want to be a part of. And that's rough. It's valid. It happens. So however it is that you came about, whether they just changed over time or they just showed who they truly are, and either way it's not who you met. I know that really stinks, and I'm sorry you're going through this. So let's tap through the frustration, the confusion, the heartache that comes with seeing them in a completely different light than you once did. And you can check the description box below for links to the research that's been done on how this works if you're interested. For today, check in with yourself. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much are you struggling internally, emotionally, or mentally with who they could have been versus who they actually turned out to be? Okay, just tap with and repeat after me. Even though I feel like I'm mourning the loss of who I thought they were, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though I'm struggling with the person they showed me at the beginning versus the person they are now. I choose to release the confusion and move forward in peace. Even though I keep wondering why they couldn't just stay the same person. I honor my feelings and release the attachment to that ideal version of them. Even though it's hard to let go of who they could have been, I love myself and choose to accept the reality of who they are now. I find myself remembering the person they were at the beginning. They seemed so perfect. I saw the potential, the kindness, the love. I thought that was the real them. But now they've turned into someone who is nothing like that. I feel like I'm grieving two different people, the one I loved and the one who hurt me. I keep asking myself, why couldn't they stay that person? It's hard to let go of the person I thought they were, the one who made me feel special. I keep thinking if they could just be like that again, things would be different. But they've shown me a side of them I can't ignore. So I'm letting it soften so I can release it. All the confusion, trauma, pain, anything negative, I let it go now. I release it all, and I'm okay. It's okay, I'm safe. I'm so disappointed in how things turned out. I thought I knew who they really were. How did they go from being so loving to treating me this way? I don't understand why they changed. Why didn't they stay true to the person I met? I keep wishing they could be that person again. Maybe the truth is they've just shown me now who they really are. Feels like I'm grieving the person they were and the person they could have been. But maybe who they are now is who they always were. I just didn't see it at first. It's okay to let this go now. Even though I'm struggling with who they could have been versus who they really are, it's okay to let this internal battle go now. I honor the love that I felt for the person I first met. And I release the fantasy of who they could have been. I choose to accept who they are now, even if it's painful. I forgive myself for holding on to the idea. I'm worthy of a love that is consistent and kind, not one that's uncertain. I trust I will find someone who shows up as their true self from the start. I'm grieving the loss of who I thought they were, but I choose to let go of that fantasy. I release the attachment to the person they could have been and accept who they are now. I choose to honor myself by letting go of this confusion and embracing reality. I trust that I'm moving forward towards something better and more real. Take a deep breath and notice that internal conflict now on a scale of 1 to 10. See where you're at. It's normal to grieve who you thought they were, but it's important to honor yourself by accepting who they truly are so you can move forward and go on in peace. Healing comes from accepting the reality and moving forward, even if it's hard, even if it hurts. So give this once or twice a day until all the emotion is gone, really focusing in on any, pain or heartache or anger or frustration that comes up as you're tapping. And you can swap out the name if that makes it more, more real. Swap out they and them for the person's name, or he or she, or how, whatever feels best. Really focusing in and acknowledging them as you tap to help, let it all process and move through. And give it, once or twice a day till you're at 0. Or look around the channel to see if there's a video on a particular emotion, anxiety, limerence, tension, anxiety, sadness, that may have you stuck once you get down to like 1 or 2. And if you don't see one, then leave a comment. Let me know how else I can help about that, or anything else I can maybe be able to help with, and I'm happy to try, whether it's fears or phobias or career, love, kids, anything like that. So yeah, if this resonated, please do subscribe. You'll get notified of new videos as I put them out. And of course, if you can like and leave a comment, even an emoji, it does help me grow as a channel, and I'm grateful for that. Healing a heartbreak is pretty hard work, but you're worth the time. So I hope you stick with it so that you go into a next relationship with an open heart, trusting yourself and your new person fully. And of course, the more that we kind of sit with emotions and actually acknowledge and, recognize them and allow them to be, that is what helps them to heal, instead of, especially if it's something that you can overanalyze yourself to death. But at the end of the day, they chose who they are and who they wanted to be, who they presented themselves to be, who they changed into, or who they presented themselves to be, knowing that they were a completely different person, and they ultimately had to take the mask off sooner or later. You can't change that. So, there's no point in trying to analyze it. Sometimes you just have to sit with those feelings that I'm mad, I'm hurt, I'm disappointed, I miss them, it was unfair, that was, disappointing, and really just letting those emotions, really looking at them and letting them come up, letting them process it through, acknowledge them and say, yeah, and if there are any lessons we can learn on spotting it faster, or, making sure we ask these type of questions before, after, and in some cases you just couldn't have known. You could have had somebody for 20 years who managed to keep the mask on, and then suddenly, or like I said, it could be a change, like they get into a religion or a political party or something, and it's completely opposite of whoever they were, and once, those kind of changes happen, there was no way you could have predicted that. So, if there is a lesson to learn, something you could see faster, great. Acknowledge that lesson learned. You can keep the lesson, you can keep the good memories, and then you've validated all the negative emotions and let them move through. And if it's something you never could have seen coming, or there was just no predicting that they were going to suddenly think this way or join that group, then there's nothing you can do to change it anyway, if that's who they become. So there's no point in overanalyzing, what could I have, they're just not the same person that they were then. Again, you grieve it, you can be angry about it, frustrated, hurt, all those things, but you acknowledge those things, and the more you do that and really sit with it and allow it to come up and move through, the faster it is than just trying to overanalyze it to death, and then sometimes talk your way through something that there is no talking through. It just is. So now let's feel it and move it on. And especially so it doesn't get stored in your body, store trauma anywhere. So yeah, sorry you're going through this, but keep at it. You'll be there sooner than you think. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next one. Later.